Pedro Martinez pitched 3 innings plus 2 batters in the 4th. They give up 8 runs, 7 earned. Oliver an inning and 2/3, 3 runs all earned on 4 hits. Now Arrojo and Varitek trying to be certain about the signs.
I think also Arrojo was checking on the outs. I think Rolando thought there was 1 out, but 2 listed on the scoreboard, and there are 2 outs in the inning.
Cruz at third and Fletcher at first, and a pitch well wide to Vernon Wells, the 8th batter of the inning. He's the only Blue Jay without a hit, and the only starter on either team who has not reached base. 0 for 3. Has to be a very lonely feeling in this game.
There's always somebody
yes.
in a game like this that will take the collar and will take a lot of abuse when the game's over.
The deep short, a tough play for Nomar on the move. Clark a nice dig, and the out is called. Garth Ord saying, hey, he didn't. Standing room only crowd on opening day 2002 at Fenway Park. They've seen a wild home opener. And there's a long way to go yet. Tied at 11, 6th inning. Homer Bush has doubled, grounded to short, and he struck out against Aaron Oliver in the 4th. Bush, Lopez, and Stewart, the 8, 9, and 1 batters. Against Rolando Araujo, who hits Bush.
The Red Sox have been taking aim at a few of these Toronto hitters today. Delgado twice. Now Homer Bush.
Stewart has also been hit by a pitch.
Number 7, the shortstop.
I don't think any of them have really been intentional, but you just wonder, hey, 4 is too many. Sooner or later, there might be a retaliatory strike.
Well, it happens quite often in cool weather. Sometimes pitchers can't get the grip on the baseball they'd like to.
Lopez chops it up the middle. Araujo slowed it down. Might have cost him a double play. Out at first on a bang play. I think if Rolando had let that pass by, they had a chance for 2. Of course, your instincts take over when you have a chance to make a play. So Lopez out at first. 1-4-3 if you're scoring.
Now that's one there. If Araujo does not make contact, that's when Sanchez tags second himself and then completes the double play. Just barely got him out at first base.
So the go-ahead run in scoring position. Bush at second. Stewart up for the 5th time. He's been on base 4 times. He scored 3 runs. He takes a ball low. Stewart walked and scored in the 1st, leading off the game. Set the tone for this game. He singled and scored in the 2nd. Was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Had an infield hit and scored again in the 5th. Out ahead of that one from Araujo. Over the weekend, Stewart's agent, Jeff Morad, claimed that Stewart was promised that he'd be the everyday left fielder by manager Buck Martinez during an off-season meeting between the two. Morad said it's not easy with a last-minute switch, especially after he was assured by the manager that the left field job was his. Fouled back here.
Well, I'm sure Buck Martinez, going through spring training, making the decision that he felt was best for the ball club. With the other 3 guys in the outfield, feels that maybe he has a better defense in the outfield. And certainly Stewart, a terrific offensive player, is going to get his bats from that leadoff spot.
Not a very good defensive player. Morad continued to make this change this late in camp as a slap in the face. Wow. Strike 3. What do you know? A strikeout. We've seen plenty of walks, not very many strikeouts. That's the first for Araujo.
Number 11.
A sweeping breaking ball from Araujo, drops down about 3/4 and picks up the outside corner. A little bit nasty there on right-handed hitters. That backside go for Stewart. Once that happens, not too many results are very good for that hitter when the backside goes.
Check swing, a strike. Eric Hinske, the rookie's had a terrific major league debut. 2 for 3, 2 singles, a sacrifice fly, 3 runs batted in. Has scored twice. How about Morad saying to make a change this late in camp is a slap in the face, but Shannon's a true professional. He will not complain. Well, why don't you be a true professional and not complain?
Well, that's the whole
he doesn't
idea.
need to complain. You're doing it for him.
Player can keep quiet and the agent complains.
Nice to know these things don't happen only in Boston. Morad said Buck sets the lineup and Shannon will follow instructions. Good. Enough. Be quiet. Go away. A ball, 2-1. Isn't he also Manny Ramirez's agent? He's the one who kind of touched off the storm about Manny wasn't comfortable.
Yeah. And Manny kept saying, I'm fine.
Yeah.
No problem.
Manny tried to back away from all that in spring training. Maybe Morad just thought to let his clients speak for themselves.
At a manager club, maybe.
He's actually a pretty good guy, too. I don't know if you met Jeff Morad.
No, I never have. No.
He's a good guy.
Well, he takes a deep concern in his clients.
Yeah. More concerned than his clients, perhaps. 3-1 to Hinske. Here's ball 4. He's on base for the 3rd time. The first walk given up by Arrojo. He's hit a batter and walked a man in this inning.
That's like working with you, Sean. I hear quite often from your representative, but you don't directly speak with me on matters of that. But you know, he'll come out every once in a while and say, Jerry, he's not real happy with this or that, and I just accept that. That's no big deal. I know it's not coming from you. It's from your representative.
Were you talking? Tony Cloninger on his way to the mound. Sorry, folks, I was distracted. I thought I heard someone talking off in the distance. My headset doesn't seem to be working quite as well now.
You better get used to it because it's going to happen 67 times this year, whether you like it or not.
We'll have our fancy new Fox 25 windbreakers this year.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
I put mine on here. It's getting a little cool with Fox 20 socks on Fox 25. Russ Kent, our producer, had these in his car, and his wife runs a pet care business.
You have pet
and
hair?
I have every type of fur and hair off an animal you could ever see on this windbreaker, and I'm allergic to everything, so I'm going to sneeze my head off. Business must be good at the Michelle Ken Pet Sitting Center down there in the South Shore.
And tomorrow I'll
Free
be
plug
Fox.
for Michelle's business, by the way.
I'll try to get some of those super duper,
Achoo.
you know, those nice jackets that they wear when they're out in the field in the storms and everything. And
Oh, when you do the weather.
yeah, we'll see if we can get.
That's what I thought. We're going to have some real outerwear. This is just kind of it's nice. It's a windbreaker.
free.
And it's warmer than it was intended to be with all the fur on it. Broken bat bouncer down to third. Hillenbrand goes to Sanchez for the out that ends the inning. The Blue Jays strand 2.
ERA. As Oriole fans will remember him for giving up Cal Ripken's 400th homer when he was a member of the starting rotation for the Tampa Bay Ball Club. He also played with Colorado before being traded to the Red Sox.
Tony Batista takes the first pitch for ball 1. Pedro Martinez goes the first 6 innings. Only gives up the 1 run and 3 hits. What do you think? Pitched pretty well, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he did 93 to 95. I've seen him smoother. You know, I mean, it's hard to grade when someone pitched 6 innings and 3 hits and 1 run.
Breaking ball misses down and away. So the Orioles need a little late inning magic. And they trail by 3. Hit high and deep down the left field line. Ramirez in the corner. And that ball is going to hook foul. Long second strike for Tony Batista. He has hit the one big blow for the Orioles this season. Grand slam off Clemens opening day.
You know, only one at bat in a lifetime for Batista against a Rojo. Had enough distance, just a little foul.
Slider misses a little bit low. Full count.
And Rojo on the mound ranks 3rd among active players born in Cuba in wins behind Livan Hernandez and his half brother El Duque.
So a free pass. The Orioles get their second one of the afternoon. Pedro with 5 strikeouts, only 1 walk. The Orioles love this, and it's going to bring up Jay Gibbons. Gibbons with a double, a ground rule variety up the gap in right center field, and then an infield roller that he really hustled on. Lost a lot of weight in the offseason. Better in the outfield, quicker to first base, and it appears just as strong as he's ever been. And there's your low and away strike. Very consistent start for Jay Gibbons. His batting average now at .353. He's hitting every game but one. So Rojo quickly in front of Gibbons, 0-2.
Well, Jay Gibbons back in the second inning. 2 outs, nobody on. Laces one to right center field off of Pedro Martinez. Off that artificial surface warning track for a ground rule double.
0-2. Tinker runs off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Orioles trying to break a 4-game losing streak. One opening day, and they've lost every game since, even though they've been in every one of them. And the Red Sox, they would like to run their record to 3 wins and 1 loss. Could be 2. Merloni to Garciaparra. Turn the double play. So a 4-6-3 double play. 2 outs here in the 7th.
Well, tailor-made room service double play. Merloni the quick feed to Garciaparra. And that big target at first base, Tony Clark.
Melvin Moore takes a breaking ball from Rojo. Strike 1. You know, Melvin up twice and struck out twice against Pedro Martinez. Rojo, his fastball, 91 miles per hour. Still remember when he first came up with Tampa, and Terry Crowley, the hitting instructor now with the Orioles, was with Minnesota. He said, boy, this kid can pitch. Very, very tough on right-handed batters. Two and 1. Fouled back, 2-2. Well, the Red Sox go home to take on Kansas City, and then the Yankees come in for a 4-game series. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday up in Boston. And the Orioles. Tampa Bay comes in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then the Orioles on the road. The White Sox for 4. And the Yankees for 3, and then down to Tampa Bay. So Mora down on strikes for the third. Volvo and your local Volvo retailers, and by Geico Direct, the sensible alternative. Geronimo Hill's going to lead it off. He is struck out and lined out, or actually a little ground ball right in front of home plate. And Varitek was able to field. And the Orioles in 2001, when they had trailed after 7 innings, 1-80. So let's see if the 2002 season a little bit different. A couple of right-handers like Julio and Brock getting loose for the Orioles. And Willie Banks loosening up. Hill pops it up down the right field line. Long run for Clark. With tremendous wingspan. Former basketball player, so he kind of got over there under control. One down here in the 8th inning.
Not that easy a play for a first baseman. You see Tony Clark staying right with it, not taking his eye off it. Little basket catch. Nice play.
Mike Bordick up for the third time. He was flied out and popped up.
Well, the Orioles just haven't been able to string together a multi-run inning since opening day. I think they had a 5-run inning, a 3-run inning, and 2-run inning. But since just single runs. And if you look at the Red Sox in the 3-game series, they've scored in 2 innings in each game. So the Orioles have really held them down.
And Mike Bordick, any way you can get on. And that ball running in. Hit by the pitch.
Take a look at the last pitch from Rojo. That running slide. You catch the back arm, the right arm of Mike Bordick. That late break, you clear it with the left, but then the right's right there. You see the grimace on Mike's face, right around that elbow. No real protection in that area.
Well, Harrison at the plate, Singleton on deck. If Jerry Harrison was able to get on, you're going to have your tying run at the plate, and he pops up the bunt. A good idea, bad execution.
Watch the head of the bat. See when it dips right there, you catch the bottom of the ball, and the only place the ball can go is up.
Tony Clark coming over. We're going to see how the Red Sox will play. Mike Bordick, early in his career, not stealing a lot of bases. Mike is 36 still, though, working very hard with Sam Porlazzo. So they're going to hold him on. Base hit to left field. Nice at bat by Chris Singleton. Garcia Parra way up the middle. So the tying run steps to the plate in the person of David Segui.
Nice piece of hitting by Chris Singleton going the other way. And I guess the good news, and it looks like Rojo will get a visit from Grady Little, is I'm not sure Rojo will face Segui. Segui big numbers against Rojo. 5 for 11 with a homer, and he represents the tying run. Of course, not Grady Little, it's Tony Cloninger, the pitching coach. They may be trying to buy that bullpen a little extra time.
Well, we saw Casey Fossum yesterday. The one thing about this Boston bullpen, they don't really have an abundance of left-handers out there. They don't have one that's specialty guy. Garces very effective against left-handed batters, but traditionally, whether it's the Yankees or any of the perennial powerhouses, usually have at least 2 guys out there.
I'm sure for the Orioles side, they're very happy this matchup is taking place.
Jeff Conine waits on deck. David Segui looking for his first base hit. He struck out, flied out, and popped up. 4-1 Red Sox. They scored early in the second, took a 4-0 lead. This ball just missed. High fly ball. Nixon with their glasses down. Inning over.
Total of 3 1/3 innings, allowing 1 hit, no runs, a couple of walks, and 2 strikeouts. His last outing against the Orioles back on the 7th in Baltimore. 2 innings in that ball game.
Raul Ibanez will be the first member of the Royals he will face here in the top of the 7th inning. Ibanez took Castillo deep in the 2nd. The first Royals run and his first home run in 2002. Rojo starts with a 92-mile-per-hour fastball and works certainly harder than Frank Castillo, so a different look for the Royals. In there for the strike, 1-1. Ibanez is the number 7 hitter. He'll be followed by A.J. Hinch and Luis Alicea here in the top of the 7th inning. Last year, a very good start for Orlando Arrojo. Did not allow a run in his first 10 appearances of the season. 16 1/3 innings before he gave up his first run last year. Arrojo, of course, also could be used as a spot starter. So far, we've seen Wakefield. Tomorrow night, we'll see Oliver. This one gets away. It's ball 4. And a leadoff walk for Raul Ibanez.
You think about Arrojo's career, he hasn't had easy ballparks to pitch in. Started with Tampa Bay down in that dome, then went out to Colorado, where I don't think anybody wants to pitch. And then friendly Fenway Park. So not many big yards for Arrojo since he's been in the big leagues.
Joe Kerrigan was talking, in fact, right the day that it turned out that Joe was let go in Fort Myers, as this is popped up foul off the right side and back below us. It was actually the last time I talked to Joe. We were talking about if Urbina could not come back after consecutive days, or who they may turn to in terms of a closer, and he really thought Rolando Arrojo had the stuff to be a closer. And it could be a guy that would be used in that role. He's not a name we hear a lot about in that type situation, but I guess he could be, even under Grady Little. The 0-1 is a strike, 0-2.
Well, they've got a couple of options if they get to that point. Arrojo, obviously one of them. And remember, Wakefield a couple years ago came in and closed games with that knuckleball. Garces could do it if called upon.
There are some who are and were a little bit nervous when you have a knuckleballer in there, say, coming in with runners at 2nd and 3rd in a 1-run game. Should it get away? You have that possibility, perhaps more with the knuckleballer than a regular pitcher. But he certainly did a very good job in that capacity, and Tim Wakefield has done a great job in all capacities. Rojo ahead, 0-2 of A.J. Hinch after walking the lead man, Raul Ibanez, at first. Had a big lead. Rojo noticed and backs off. And he hits him. In a cold night, down goes A.J. Hinch, and 2 will be on with nobody out.
Now way ahead of Hinch, 0-2. Certainly not what Arrojo wanted to do there. So trouble right away. The walk, now the hit batter on the 0-2 count. Hinch had no chance to get out of the way of that one. Just turn around and hope it doesn't hurt very much.
Number 12, the second
A tough outing last night for Rich Garces out of the bullpen, giving up 4 runs for the Red Sox last night. Willie Banks up in the bullpen quickly after Arrojo has walked Ibanez and now hit A.J. Hinch.
See if Alicea is called on a sacrifice here with nobody out. Try to push a couple of men into scoring position.
Does square. And apparently did not offer at that pitch. 1-0.
See, when Louis turned around, he put the bat right at the top of the strike zone, and you can tell when that pitch is coming, if it's going to be above the bat, just take it. So Alicea's bat at right at the top of the strike zone, just lays off it.
Squares again and pulls away again, and he's ahead 2-0. Hinch at first, Ibanez at second. Alicea squaring again, and that time I think the punch at it, or was that just a strike call? Tough to tell. 2-1 nevertheless, and it is a strike.
like he punched at it and pulled it right back at the last second, but the pitch appeared to be off the plate.
Rojo spiraling off the backside of the mound. Nobody cheating in, but Ibanez ducking back to the bag. Potential tying runs on base with nobody out. Gets it down this time down the third base line. Hillenbrand on the run, took an extra second, and it cost him. A slight hesitation, and the bases will be loaded with nobody out.
Perfect job there by Alicea. Make the third baseman come out of his position to field the ball, and then a little bobble on the transfer by Hillenbrand. That's enough for Alicea to beat the play. Good job with the bunt. Make the third baseman field it. And then watch on the transfer. He couldn't quite get the handle on it. Just enough there for Alicea at first base. So Red Sox, big problems here. Bases loaded. Nobody out.
Tony Cloninger at the mound to talk to Arrojo as Willie Banks continues to warm up in the bullpen. So a walk, a hit batsman, and now a bunt single for Luis Alicea, and it takes us to the top of the Royals order and Chuck Knobloch.
Number 11, the left fielder, Chuck Knobloch.
Cubbage assisting Grady Little in setting up the defense here for the Red Sox.
And they're going to play in the corners and back at second and short for the double play.
Knobloch takes strike one. He's 0 for 3 tonight. 2 strikeouts and the ground out. Knobloch, a .297 hitter with the bases loaded. Hit a grand slam in game 1 of this series. On the ground, Nomar's going to go deep into the hole. It's short. The long throw is going to get there in time. Run will score in the back door from third comes Ibanez. It's a 1-run game, and Nomar lucky to get anybody. Fine throw on that play.
I'll be honest with you, that's the last place I expected Garciaparra to go with that. At first, I thought he was going to go to third base to try to get a force out. Then I looked towards second, and Nomar's throwing it to first. And gets a very speedy Knobloch down that line.
Number 8, the shortstop.
Now the Red Sox will pull the infield in with Nefi Perez, with the exception of no, now they're going back. Okay, willing to give up the tying run on a ground ball, but not the go-ahead run.
First base is now vacant. Nefi Perez 0 for 3 tonight. And out after the first pitch. A 1-run ball game here now. 4-3. Red Sox at one point had a 4-1 advantage. The Royals have chipped away with a run in the 6th and 1 so far here in the 7th. Rojo did not help himself by walking Ibanez to begin the inning and then hitting the number 8 hitter A.J. Hinch. Bases were loaded with nobody out. There's now 1 out. Second and third, and Perez offered at that very defensively on the way down.
Buries the breaking ball down and in. The bat starts to go. Then he tries to stop it and collapses.
Rojo glancing at third. The 1-2. Frank Castillo worked the first 6 innings, giving up 2 runs and hoping that his bullpen can help him out in securing his first victory of the year. 2-2 chop foul over by the Boston dugout. Of course, Castillo got a no decision in his first fine effort in Baltimore. 6 innings, a hit and a run, but got a no decision. Red Sox went on to win 4-2. And here he's provided a quality 6 innings of work, but needs help. Varitek frames it, held it for a split second, but it's a full count. First base is vacant. Carlos Beltran waits on deck. start to get into the meat of the Kansas City order. Mike Sweeney would be after Beltran if the inning does continue. Still just one out here in the top of the 7th inning. In the air to center field. Damon coming on and over. Will make the catch from third. A.J. Hinch is going to try it, and he gets in. We're tied at 4.
Certainly Rich Dow, the third base coach, familiar with the throwing on of Johnny Damon, and they're going to take a chance with him unless he's very shallow. There's the tag. The catch did not leave too soon, and not much on that throw by Damon. Damon covers a lot of ground in the outfield. Probably the weakest part is his throwing arm.
Two down. Luis Alicea remains at second base as Carlos Beltran fights that pitch off foul on the ground. That's certainly one of the things that a third base coach needs to know, is the arms of the outfielders, not only the way ballparks play, but certainly the ability of the outfielders to throw. It looked like Rich Dower knew about Johnny Damon right there.
Now, what a lot of them will do, if they're unfamiliar with a certain player, they'll go out and watch infield practice, just watch him throw during that. A lot of things to consider: the ballpark you're playing in, the situation in the game, depth of the outfielder, throwing ability. And all of those decisions pretty much have to be made before contact.
The 0-1 to Beltran. Out and away, and Luis Alicea still at second base with 2 outs. Now a tie ball game. Red Sox had the 4-1 lead. The Royals have come back with a run in the 6th. So far 2 in the 7th. And unfortunately for Frank Castillo, he will not be part of a decision tonight. Despite the fact that he's pitched 12 innings to begin the year, giving up 3 runs so far on just 4 hits. This will be the 28th pitch of the inning for Arrojo, and on a hop taken nicely by Hillenbrand. A good throw, and the side is finally retired, but not before the Royals come up with a pair.
Arrojo.
4th game for Arrojo, his last against Kansas City. Worked an inning, allowing a hit and a couple of earned runs. Also walked a batter. Red Sox had a couple of days where the bullpen had some problems, although they bounced back nicely last night.
Rondell White at first for John Vander Wal. 1 out here in the 6th. The Yankees lead 4-3. Vander Wal is grounded to third and walked. Hillenbrand well off the line at third. All down and in. John Burkett will make a rehab start in the minors tomorrow, and if all goes well, Grady Little indicated he would likely be activated and join the Red Sox in Kansas City next weekend. Two and 0 to count now. And Grady said Burkett would definitely be a starter. He would not join the team as a relief pitcher.
Yeah, that moved around a couple of times this week. He was supposed to go to Norwich to pitch a game there. They switched it to the AAA game.
Red Sox have an off day this coming week on Thursday. Grady Little indicated before the game Pedro will pitch Friday, and they'll work the rest of the rotation around their #1 starter. So it will be Pedro to open the series in Kansas City on Friday. Little lob in the left field for a base hit. Vander Wal goes the other way. His first hit of the ball game. And the Yankees have 2 men on with 1 out.
Rojo not happy with that pitch. A breaking ball that stayed upstairs, and Van der Waal just pushing it off to the opposite field. Van der Waal's been a good hitter, and in particular a very good pinch hitter throughout his major league career. That's another nice pickup for the Yankees. They got their work done early in the offseason, didn't they?
They did. They did it all in about, it seemed like about 2 days.
Yeah.
And bing, bing, bing. We need this, this, and this. And
they finished it off. The Giambi thing was done long before they announced that.
They know what they want. They have the resources to go and get it. Made a couple trades, couple free agent signings. Here's Wilson, 0 for 2. He looked at strike one from Rojo. Infield at double play depth. Slashing, swing and a miss. The number 9 hitter, 0-2.
Had a spot that time for the breaking ball, burying Wilson inside.
Enrique will be followed by Derek Jeter. Line pass. Hillenbrand was way off the line. Henderson over in the corner to play it. White on to score. The throw to third. Van der Waal is out. Hillenbrand did get the tag on him. And it's a double for Wilson and an RBI, and the Yankees lead 5-3.
Red Sox have got hurt a couple of times today on 0-2 counts. No balls, 2 strikes, fastball out over the plate, and Enrique Wilson in that corner. Now, where Ricky makes this play, and a nice play going toward the line, he's not that far at all from third base, and I think that surprised Van der Waal. Throw was off the mark, but Hillenbrand had plenty of time to make the catch, come back, and then the tag. Ricky made a nice play getting to that. That ball could end up in the corner.
An outfield assist for Henderson. 2 outs for Jeter, who takes a knee-high strike. Derek doubled and scored in the first, grounded to short in the second, struck out in the fourth. So that run is charged to Martinez. He's charged with 5 runs, 3 hits, over 5 in the third inning. 3 walks and 7 strikeouts. Foul ball. 0-2 on Jeter. You'd look at the line, Jerry, just read it in the paper tomorrow, you say, ouch, that's not very good. It's not Pedro. But if you watched today, I think you saw some bright spots, signs that progress is continuing to be made. Bounder through the right side. Wilson waved around. He will score. The lead's back to 3 runs for New York at 6-3. Second hit of the day for Jeter. Rojo's given up 3 straight hits. The Red Sox bullpen continues to have a tough time here in the early part of the season.
Yeah, after a couple of tough games, they bounced back with a great performance last night, but Rojo again struggling here this afternoon. It's amazing, Jeter, with that inside-out swing, how he's able to get to certain pitches and move that ball to the opposite field. Tony Cloninger looking on. Jeter with 3 steals so far on the season has not yet been caught.
With Nick Johnson, who has struck out, singled, grounded out, stolen a base, the first of his major league career. Clark had to reach for that throw. Martinez gave up just 3 hits and 5 1/3. Rojo's given up 3 straight hits. In fairness to the members of the bullpen, of course, Wakefield and Oliver have had to come out of the bullpen to take the starting spots vacated by Burkett and Hermanson due to injury.
Sean, it's going to sound crazy, but I feel better about Pedro's outing today than I did even the one in Baltimore.
No, I don't think after watching a pitch that's crazy.
I mean, the only problem at times today was his control. Fastball was good. Changeup was good. A very good curveball today. But as we told you earlier, we watched Vertex set up, and he's not hitting his targets as consistently as he normally does. But he's throwing with confidence. You could tell today. He didn't have that look like he did on opening day.
Looked more confident, threw with increased velocity, certainly relative to opening day. Breaking ball is definitely sharper than it had been. The warmer temperatures might have helped too. The most important thing, I think, is that he's pain-free. Because if he is, you expect him to find his pinpoint control eventually.
Watching his body language, it almost looks like he's got past the point now of worrying about whether his arm's going to fall off. You know what I mean? And it looked that way on opening day. Better in Baltimore, and I thought today even better than Baltimore. Now it's a matter of just getting that great Pedro Martinez control back.
Rojo trying to keep Jeter close. Johnson waits for the 2-1 pitch. We're in the top of the 6th. New York leads 6-3. Scored twice here in the 6th inning. Foul ball off the foot of Johnson, 2-2. Wells grateful for the offensive support he's receiving here. Both bullpens quiet.
Trying to keep that back stretched out that was operated on last year.
Jeter runs. Johnson drives it to right. Plenty of room for Nixon. That ends the inning. The Yankees get 2. One charge to Arroyo, the other to Martinez. We go. Buddy.
Plenty of time left.
How's that exhaust smell?
See how cars going backwards?
Yes. That's pretty much the way they went when Little Lee got spun around last week.
Well, I'm staying with Little Lee this week.
You are?
Yeah, he was running a good race until he got into that accident.
Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how'd you like to play? Bernie Williams with a 1-1 count with Arroyo. Bernie walked and scored in the first inning. He's grounded out and struck out since. Fastball inside. Williams, Giambi, and Posada due up here in the 7th. Rojo gave him 3 straight hits last inning before getting Johnson to fly out to end the inning. Three and 1. Swinging away, Williams pops it up. Garciaparra is under it for the first out of the 7th. Well, you mentioned you're picking Little Lee with the Virginia 500 this week in Martinsville. That's the race here on Fox 25 tomorrow. I'm picking Jeff Gordon, who is the pole sitter. You're going with Little Lee, who will start 3rd. Staubach likes Rusty Wallace. I think that's the 2nd time he's picked Rusty. And Ron Nixon has selected Tony Stewart, who will start 8th. We're only allowed to pick the driver twice.
That's right.
And that's the 2nd time I picked Gordon. The first time was a 31st place finish. So I'm done with Jeff Gordon after today. But he's the pole sitter. Ran very well last week. Finished 2nd. His best performance of the year. I think he's overdue for a win.
Yeah, he is. I was going to pick him again too, but that's the heck with it.
Glad you didn't. You picked him the same time I did. We both got 31 points.
Right. 2 Chevys, a Ford, and a Pontiac tomorrow. Our picks.
Giambi pulls one foul. You know the other reason I picked Gordon? I was thinking about Gordon. I wasn't really sure before the game. I also like Bobby Hamilton. I was thinking about Kevin Harvick as well. And when I was in the dugout, Nixon and Daubach walked by and said, "You gonna pick Gordon again? Gonna pick Gordon?" No one likes you when you're on top. I said, you know, I think I just might.
You've been on top for 2 years.
Yeah. Broken bat up the middle. Rojo ducked out of the way. Garciaparra throws him out. Giambi dispatched. 2 down here in the 7th.
Red Sox don't have the full shift on Giambi like they have had at times in the past, but certainly play him to pull. And even though that ball is directly over the head of Arroyo, You see Nomar positioned very close to that second base bag and able to make the play. I think it's a good thing for Arrojo that was a broken bat, because that line drive would have come back much quicker.
It didn't take the Yankee fans long to get on Giambi's case.
No.
First home series of the year, they were booing him.
You got to earn your pinstripes.
Yeah, they don't start out liking you and then get on you. They kind of start out saying, okay, we expect high things, and the first time you don't deliver. And Roger Clemens went through the same thing. They really gave him a tough time for quite a while.
Now they're going to love Giambi before it's over, no question about that.
Well, they should. He might be the best hitter in the game right now, certainly in the discussion. Posada jumps out of the way, but pitched down and in. He tripled to drive in 3 in the first inning, scored the 4th run, and has struck out twice since. When they pay you $120 million over 7 years, as the Yankees are paying Giambi, that raises the fan expectation level a little bit as well. Two and two now on Posada. Must be their plan to pitch him down and in. He skips out of the way of a lot of pitches.
A lot of breaking balls today for the Red Sox.
Ball 4 is low, so a 2-out walk. First walk given up by Rolando. Grady Little wasn't sure before the game about whether or not Oogie Urbina would be available, having pitched the last couple of nights. So he hadn't had a chance to talk with Urbina yet. Grady said he would not hesitate to put Casey Fossum out there in a closing situation if it developed that way. There's a lot of confidence in the way the young man's throwing the ball these days, and understandably so. There's Urbina.
Generally, after a guy works a couple of straight days, Grady will wait till he comes in the clubhouse, see how the arm has responded, and if Urbina says okay, that he would be called upon if the Red Sox need him today.
2-0. Fossum.
Fossum gave up a hit last night to Robin Ventura. But all in all, he's pitched very well out of the bullpen for the Red Sox.
The opponent's hitting just 143 against Casey. He's given up just 3 hits in 6 innings. Meanwhile, Urbina does have the 4 saves, Jerry, for the most part. He's been effective if you use that as the criteria, but 5 1/3 innings, he's given up 8 hits and 4 walks. The opponent's hitting 348 against him. He's given up a home run and nearly a couple of others. His ERA is 8.44. After the game, Grady Little last night made it a point to say one of the best things about the win was Urbina doing his job and getting a save, but there was a home run in that inning.
Yeah, you went out, gave up the home run, and go, oh no, here we go again. But then he settled down and he was able to get the outs and get the save. Sometimes that's all you need to get turned around a little bit.
Banks trying to turn himself around out there. Full count now with 2 outs. Posada will be running on the payoff to Ventura. Named Zilli, the first base coach for the Yankees. Posada runs, and it's ball 4. Back-to-back 2-out walks. Comes Tony Cloninger. There is no action to the mound. That must not have been what it was all about. Wow.
Tony's still in that dugout, or did he get thrown out?
No, he's still there.
Still there. Maybe not. He heading down the runway?
just on the dugout steps. Rondell White hits it high and deep to center. Johnny Damon at the wall makes the catch. Yankees strand 2. They've left 7. 7th inning stretch. You're watching the Fox Sports Pedro if you just tuned in. And good life on the fastball. Among other positives, Rolando Araujo has pitched an inning and 2/3 of relief, charged with 1 run, 3 hits and 2 walks. John Vander Wal pops it up over by the Yankee dugout. That'll go out of play. Vander Wal, then the number 9 man Enrique Wilson, and top of the order Derek Jeter. Willie Banks started throwing in the Red Sox bullpen. Longest outing for Rojo this season is 2 innings. Ball and 2 strikes on Vander Wal. 17 career pinch hit homers for Vander Wal. That's 3rd on the all-time list. Been a bench player throughout much of his National League career, sort of an in and out of the lineup kind of guy. We'll see some time, perhaps platooning with Shane Spencer from time to time.
Spencer got the start here last night against Darren Oliver.
Down and in. Vander Wal now 35 years old. He'll be 36 at the end of the month. He's played from Montreal, Colorado, San Diego, Pittsburgh, and San Francisco. But only 2 major league seasons in which he's appeared in more than 105 games. For the most part, a role player. Garciaparra threw him out.
So much was made yesterday about Nomar not playing in the game and Veritek getting the night off against the Yankees, and the Red Sox went on to win that game. We were talking to Grady about that this morning. He says there's no way I'm going to play the game. The guy 9 games in a row this stage of the season. He says last year, talking about Pedro, he says all those games he had early with the Yankees, he said, you know, maybe had he missed one of those, he may not have broke down later on in the year.
Ground ball and a base hit for Enrique Wilson. He's 2 for 4 while giving Soriano a day of rest. A double and now a single for Wilson. I guess the question some fans had, you're going to rest him, why not do it against Kansas City the night before?
Could have rested him maybe that game against Kansas City and then the last game in Toronto next week, and that gives you 2 days off because you get an off day to follow. Soriano taking today off for the Yankees, at least to this point.
Derek Jeter, the hitter. Chopper foul wide of 3rd. A very poor fielding day for the fans here today, too. Jeter doubled and scored in the 1st, singled and knocked in a run in the 6th. 2 for 4. Yankees lead 6-3. They have a 1-out base runner here in the 8th inning. Already there have been a number of things about Grady Little's managing that do bring to mind Jimmy Williams. Jimmy used to rest a couple of starters at a time, didn't seem to care who the opponent was, whether the hitter he was taking out of the lineup had been hot or cold.
Runs the game the same way too, especially with the bullpen. I think the biggest difference between Grady and Jimmy, I think Grady's much more comfortable talking to players than
and the media. Little check swing and a fly ball to the right. Nixon to catch. 2 outs.
And for example, this morning when Maloney came into the locker room, Grady called him in right away, and I happened to be sitting in there with him at that time, and he talked about some things, you know. And he says,
thinking that Merlone might have expected to play today against the lefty.
I asked him, he said, what do you got planned for tonight? You know, he said, Lou said, I'm going to go out to dinner down in North End. He says, well, try to get in a little bit early. He says, because you're in there tomorrow against Messina. So letting him know that he's going to get a start tomorrow. I think Jimmy, on the other hand, would not do something like that. He'd just make that lineup card out the day that he came and kind of caught everybody by surprise. Grady tells guys that, you know, you're going to have tomorrow off or you're going to be in the lineup tomorrow. But you're right, the managing style, very much the same.
The different lineups, guys moving around at different spots in the lineup. Nick Johnson, the batter. See the highlight of Jimmy last night on ESPN? Came out to take Wade Miller out of the game. You know, Jimmy had sometimes the reputation with some of his pitchers having a quick hook. It looks like he's already irritated one or two of the Astros, but Wade Miller had the look on his face and staring off into space like, I can't believe I'm coming out. And he practically handed the ball to Jimmy on the run as they passed each other. Jimmy just arriving at the mound as Miller walked off pretty briskly.
Jimmy give him the clap before he got out there.
Give him a little clap. And almost grazed Johnson.
Well, they'll get used to it.
Yes, they will.
Because he's not going to change.
Jimmy will not change. There's one person that you know you could bet will not change. It would be Jimmy Williams. Wilson runs and Johnson fouled it away.
Houston off to a slow start. The 4-6, I believe. Yeah, 4-6 on the season going in today's action. St. Louis leading that division at 7-3. It's supposed to be St. Louis and Houston, the two best teams in that division, according to the pundits.
And when it all shakes out, they will be. That's a pretty weak division otherwise. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, the Cubs, and Milwaukee. Milwaukee's lost 6 in a row. Pop fly along the left field line. Rickey slips down, gets back up, and still makes the snatch catch. Some extra degree of difficulty points earned by Henderson. We go to the bottom of the 8th. This is the Fox 25 Red Sox television network. Now here's Curtis Jackson of the Fox 25 news desk.
Major league hitters hit him. You wonder how he gives up the stuff that he does, but he's had all kind of success against the Toronto Blue Jays in his career.
And that's all the Blue Jays need right now, because they have struggled at the plate tonight, including their most dangerous hitter early in the season, Carlos Delgado. Strikeout, ground out. Red Sox did a tremendous job, both offensively, defensively, and pitching against the Yankees in that 4-game set. Real team effort. Everybody stepped to the plate. 3 balls and 1 strike.
I think they won some ball games that they thought maybe they shouldn't have when Shea Hillenbrand took Mariano Rivera deep in the 8th inning for a home run.
The odds aren't very good that you're going to do that, are they? Although I guess Luis Gonzalez might have something to say with about that.
How about Alfonso Soriano getting thrown out for the 3rd out at second base when he steals? And Dwight Evans on the right, the new hitting instructor for the Boston Red Sox. So many years controlling right field in Fenway Park. Pretty good hitter in his own right.
Grady Little did something that you might find a little curious. 3-2 pitch to Carlos Delgado and got him. 2nd strikeout against Delgado tonight.
And he doesn't think so. Rojo's got great stuff, great movement on his fastball. John Hirschbeck is a home plate umpire. He's a pitcher's umpire. Ball sinking away from Delgado. He thinks it's ball 4. Not so fast, says John Hirschbeck as he punches out Carlos Delgado.
Jose Cruz Jr. Base hit and a foul out. Garcia Parra can't 19 for Nomar.
I think that's when you see teams that play on grass come in here and have to field off the carpet for the first time this season. Kind of an in-between hop that had a little spin on it. You see Garciaparra kind of look back right there and say, like, what did that ball hit on this carpet?
Indeed, an error.
Trouble, yeah, gets himself an error.
I was going to say, though, Grady Little, a guy who, first-year manager, first-time manager in the big leagues, sat down Garciaparra one of the games against the Yankees. Used everybody. And it was almost a game plan, game to game, day to day. And might have sent a message to the Red Sox that if we're going to do this, we are going to do this together.
As a team. And they know that they're going to need every single one of those players on that bench at some time over 162 games. Not just the pitchers, those guys who are going to have to fill in for a Garciaparra when he needs a day off, or a Manny Ramirez if he gets hurt. People like that. So you got to keep them fresh. You can't let them sit over there and get dead over dead wood.
You sometimes wonder, and I know Carlos Delgado is the all-time Ironman for the Blue Jays right now. Hasn't missed a game in eons. Some days, if you know you got those little hurts here and there, that it might be worth taking a day off.
Or DH.
Or DH.
Nothing wrong with that.
2 balls, 1 strike. 1 away here, bottom of 7. Cruz at first. Inside pitch again to Darren Fletcher. It's a fascination, though, in Boston, isn't it, with the Red Sox? It's really a lifestyle. It's not even a team. And so many years of frustration.
Well, it was like after this weekend when they took 3 out of 4 from the Yankees, it was like the fans were saying, okay, we can get behind this team now. Are they going to let us down again? We can get behind them. A big sigh of relief, like, you know what, we have a pretty good team. We can contend with the Yankees. It is a fascinating city, a fascinating ballpark. If you've never been there and experienced what Fenway Park and Red Sox baseball is all about, it's special.
3-2 pitch fouled away. It is, and I know there's talk and was talk. Well, the new ownership, John Henry, and this group that has come in, I could never see the Red Sox leaving Fenway or building this new Fenway. Fenway is too special.
Fenway Park, Wrigley Field. No way. There's no way that they should even think about it. No. Expand it, yes. Modernize it, yes. Build a new one, not a chance.
So Darren Fletcher with the walk, now 2 on here. Maybe the Blue Jays have something in them for a rally with 1 away in the 7th. Let's go to Sunil Joshi now for an update.
Well, Rod, at Comiskey Park, Chuck Finley's getting beaten up again, this time at a ballpark. 9 runs in the 2nd inning, including this grand slam by Maglio Ordonez, 5th of his career. The White Sox in front 9-1 in the 3rd. Rod?
Looks like that streak will end, and it looks like the Tigers streak is going to end tonight too. 7-1, the Tigers lead Tampa Bay, so their 0-11 mark will likely come to an end.
You know, that was interesting with the Tigers. They weren't even in position their first 11 ball games to win a game where the bullpen blew it or in save situations.
John Hirschbeck talking to Vernon Wells, who bailed out. Catcher may have been calling time. Let's take a look, and yes, he did.
Yeah, you see Jason Varitek throw up the hands, and the umpire jumps out of there, and as a hitter, that kind of surprises you because you're concentrating so much, and all of a sudden the umpire's gone yelling timeout.
So now 0-2. Rojo is ahead of Vernon Wells, who had a home run earlier tonight. Solo shot in the 3rd. Only run on the board for Toronto. The other way, down the line, foul.
Now that was a much better approach right there from Vernon Wells with 2 strikes. We saw him in his last at bat fly out the center field with 2 strikes, where he kind of opened up just a little bit too much and tried to hit the ball too far. This time with 2 strikes. Watch how he shortens that swing, hardly steps, and just tries to make contact, and he almost hit the ball down the right field line for a double.
Fouled away again. Buck Martinez had something interesting to say tonight about the open stadium here. First time, earliest that this roof has been open. He said that, you know, some of these young players have never played in it, the Sky Dome being open. They know it is a closed roof stadium early on in this season. So it is special. It's a great stadium when it is closed, obviously when the weather is inclement, but when it's open, it's awesome when the weather's good. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Some of those young players got called up last year in September when the roof was closed, and
probably wondering, this thing,
this
thing it opens. And strike 3. 2 outs now with 2 on, and back to Sunil Joshi.
And this one's for you, Pat Tabler. 6th inning, Vladdy Guerrero at the dish. 2-run home run, his 2nd of the game, 4 RBI, 4th of the year, 15 RBI, 8-2 Expos. They're playing in the 7th.
Pat Tabler's jumping for joy here.
See, I stopped everything I was doing and flipped over and watched that update. How about how he hits the ball to left field for a home run and hits the ball right field?
He's an amazing ball player, and it's again back to the Montreal situation. It's too bad that not many people in North America realize that he's playing, because very few of those games are on television.
Or if and when that team gets contracted, where does he go?
He's going to be the #1 pick if they have a dispersal draft.
Javier Vasquez is pretty good. If you're looking for some good young pitching, it's
Minnesota
amazing.
has some good young pitchers if they contract again. Yeah, what?
It is amazing what could happen at the end of this year. Vladimir Guerrero playing right field for the Yankees. Wow.
Homer Bush fouling that 2-0 pitch away. Well, there is some talent. Contraction an issue. Some people feel that those 2 teams in Florida should be contracted.
And there's some talent in those organizations also. Florida Marlins have talent all over the field. How about that pitching staff?
Off of Arrojo's glove and throws it away. And 1 Blue Jay run will score to make it 10-2. So an error right back at you.
Rolando Araujo had so much time here. He had no reason to try and hurry this ball over to first base. The ball hit back at him on 1 hop. A right-handed batter in Homer Bush doesn't get out of the box that well. Watch this ball. 1 hop right back to him. Knocks it down. Doesn't go very far. Picks it up. Look at all the time he has. Homer's not even to the dirt part of the infield. Ball's thrown in between the runner and the first baseman.
That's why you always beat it out, run hard.
Exactly.
2 errors to 2-base error charge to Araujo. Men on 2nd and 3rd. Felipe Lopez. Couple of ground outs tonight. Base hit here would cash 2. 2 balls and 1 strike to Lopez.
When you sit here and watch from the center field camera the movement that Araujo has, making the ball go inside, outside, he's got no-hit stuff, I think, every time he goes out there. That ball right there, fastball, 94 miles an hour with movement on the outside part of the plate.
Big pitch here, 3 balls, 1 strike. Could load them up for Shannon Stewart. Fouled away. You never know in baseball, okay? Especially with some of the slugfest we have seen. But not this time. Lopez goes down. Blue Jays do get one, but they trail by 8 as we head to inning 8. Shannon Stewart to Nomar. Says no more. Well, it's not Nomar now.
Ray Sanchez
moves over
from second base over to shortstop.
And that's a smart move, actually, by Grady Little when you think about it in a 10-2 game.
Yeah, there's no sense taking one of your hitters. Remember, he only played in about 20 games last year. Nomar Garciaparra with that wrist injury. You're up 10-2 in the 8th inning. I think this one's in the bag for Grady Little. Ray Sanchez slides over to shortstop.
Eric Hinske. Great start to his rookie season, but not a good night at the plate tonight. Couple of strikeouts and a walk. And a big throwing error in the 7th. Tony Clark. Good play.
It looked like his knee got stuck in the AstroTurf, and I thought he was going to tumble straight over. You see him talking to Lou Merlone saying, could you have gotten that ball? Because if you did, why don't you call me off? It looked like he backhanded it, and his knee got stuck, and it looked like he was going to go right down into the AstroTurf. But he was able to set himself and make a nice throw from his knees over to Rojo. Watch this play here. The knee gets stuck. Yeah, Lou Merlone had a pretty good chance at catching that ball, and his momentum, them coming over to first base, would have been an easier play.
To Boston. Only 3 hits tonight for the Blue Jays, who have been hitting the ball very well early in this season. Met up with the Red Sox tonight, and Frank Castillo, their ex-teammate, shut them down early.
And a couple different type of pitchers also. Castillo, sinker, slider, curveball, change speeds, and then this man right here, Rojo, comes right after you. Everything is hard. 94-mile-an-hour fastball with movement, slider with movement, and that's why you see the numbers like they are against the Blue Jay batters. Raul Mondesi career 091 versus Rojo. Shannon Stewart 176. Jose Cruz 091. Tough to hit a guy like this. He has been a Blue Jay killer for years.
3 balls, 1 strike. Now full count. It for Toronto. 1, 2, 3 for Rojo. It's a good deal. Come to a Jays game. 4 tickets, 4 slices of pizza, 4 soft drinks, 1 program. Very low price of $69.96. The family pack from Pizza Pizza. And on an exquisite night, temperature wise, it has not been a great night for Blue Jay batsmen. Getting hammered 14-3. Nor Blue Jay pitchers get 14-2 tonight. And this is the bottom of the 9th. Red hot Red Sox team.
I always wondered how important it is to get off to a good start and maybe face teams that aren't very hot. Maybe it gives you a false sense of security. The Cleveland Indians have beaten up on Kansas City, Minnesota, Detroit. Maybe they're playing a little bit over their head because of the competition. Now here come the Blue Jays. They play New York Yankees. They play the Boston Red Sox, who are very hot right now.
Minnesota.
Which way would you have it?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. You look at their Blue Jays record from a year ago in April and their start compared to now. They were 9-3.
They got off to a great start in April, and then all of a sudden they came home and they played the Seattle Mariners and the Oakland A's and got pummeled. And that homestand, it seemed like everything was downhill after that.
Delgado was hit. Always among the league leaders in getting hit by a pitcher. So he's at first. Delgado silent at the plate tonight. Striking out twice, ground out. And here's Jose Cruz Jr. Scored the second Blue Jay run. And this, I was going to say, could be two, but it won't be any. Missed the bag at second, missed the throw at first, so Blue Jays have 2 on, runners at the corners, and probably would have hoped for some of this a lot earlier.
Well, Rojo's doing it to himself with his pitch count getting up and the runners on base. Last inning, his first inning he was in the 7th inning, he had a comebacker hit to him by Homer Bush that he threw away at first base, and this time another comebacker. Taylor made double play all the way, pulls Ray Sanchez off the bag, and then Ray Sanchez in turn pulls Tony Clark off the bag at first base. So instead of a double play, nobody on. First and third, nobody out.
Darren Fletcher. Mighty cut there. By the way, there were basketball update. Indiana leading by 1. Raptors trailing by 4. So tomorrow night's game on TSN could be a biggie. Looks like Cleveland's win streak will come to a screeching halt tonight. Detroit's abysmal losing streak could end. And the Blue Jays might have come into this game riding a 5-game win streak had it not been from Sunday's base running in Tampa. Problems there, and can they turn the twin? And they do. The twin kill that time.
Well, it took them a couple chances, but they got it right here in the 9th inning. Darren Fletcher grounding out to Ray Sanchez, turned nicely by Lou Merloni over at second base.
Carlos Delgado does score on the play, make it 14-3. Again tomorrow night, Scott Air against Darren Oliver. Blue Jays have played 2 games, I guess you can call 2.5, against Boston. They've given up 25 runs in those 2 games. It's not a good number.
No, it isn't. I hope it's not a harbinger of things to come for this season. I know there's some young pitchers out there on the Blue Jays starting staff. And they're going right through the meat of their season right now, their schedule with Boston, and then they have to go to New York. Got some growing up to do awfully early.
Fouled out of play by Vernon Wells. It looked like he might start a rally back in the 3rd inning. Blue Jays were trailing 5-0 and hit a big home run, but Blue Jays barely got anything out of the infield tonight. Only 3 base hits. Field line, but foul. So a young team that's confidence and psyche might be a little fragile. What does Buck Martinez say? Especially after yesterday's day off, and they might have had time to let that loss on Sunday simmer a bit.
Could possibly do that, but it shouldn't be like that. Every day is a new day.
And that will do it. What a night for Boston pitchers. What a night for their hitters.
See tomorrow morning for more information. Orioles got a lot of information from Frank Castillo. As we said, they were looking, those Oriole fans know, for a way to jump on Castillo tonight, and the Birds did that. So Jim Rolando Araujo now takes over.
Yeah, terrific arm angle, tough on righties. Lefties, have a chance. He'll sink it. From Cuba, born in Havana, defected back in 1996, and then had a real good first year with Tampa. I guess he was a pretty good pitcher for that Cuban team. 180 wins, 60 losses. Gold medalist back in Barcelona in 1992.
And the first hitter he's going to face, Chris Singleton. It's a left-handed hitting outfielder against Araujo, who will miss down and away. The Orioles with 4 runs, 6 base hits, and a lead, more importantly, of Frankie Castillo. And Castillo, of course, still responsible for Jerry Hairston.
Kind of like that scoreboard. You know, single runs, first, second, third, and fourth.
Yeah. Well, Jim, that's what we were saying. Going into tonight, the Orioles had been outscored 31-14 in the first 3 innings. So that tells you that they've been falling behind, you know, early in games. But tonight, the solo tallies in each of the first 4 innings. Trying to change that around a little bit as Araujo will miss to Singleton, and he's falling behind 2-0.
Well, what he's trying to do is sink the ball down and away, and Chris Singleton, and you know, whether you start the game hitting number 2, you have a big hole into right field, or you'd like to hit the ball right by Jerry Hairston. Create that first and third situation just like that.
Base hit right field. Hairston streaking for third. Nixon will load up and gun. Hit Hairston rolling toward the Red Sox dugout. Singleton moving up to second base. And now third base umpire Laz Diaz, I was going to say that ball did stay in play.
Well, it did because of the new screening here to protect the occupants of the dugout. Otherwise, that ball goes right into the seats. And this is what you try to do. Get a ball. Good hitting count, 2-0. Get a ball you can hit into right field. And Nixon's going to come up and charge it. Good speed with Hairston, and the throw hits him in the back, and it goes right by him, and it would have gone right in the dugout. Can't see from that angle. But the Orioles would have scored another run.
Chris Singleton with a base hit to right, so the Orioles with runners on the corners. Singleton took second on that Nixon throw that came through to Shea Hillenbrand.
And Grady Little's going to play his corners first and third in.
As Araujo pounds that sinker on the inside corner to get ahead of David Segui. David's been on twice tonight, picked up his 11th RBI of the year. And his base hit in the opening inning, and also has drawn a walk. The O's looking for more. They've scored in each of the first 4 innings. Segui fought that off in on his hands.
Well, again, with only 1 out, great hitting situation. Maybe not as good as it was early in the count. It's 0-2. Ramirez doesn't throw very well in left. Nixon's got a good arm in right. Damon doesn't throw particularly well in center. So fly ball with any depth, center or left, is going to probably score a run. And Hairston with great speed down at third. And Singleton can run out at second.
Segui got jammed and fooled as Rolando Araujo got him with a slider. So Segui gone for out number 2, and that'll leave it up to Jeff Conine.
Well, real good pitching right here. Sharp slider. Throw it under your hands. You're ahead in the count. And David can't quite get the bat head to the ball. And that'll leave it up to Jeff Conine.
Yeah, let's see what Jeff can do. It's a tough situation last year. He was sweep and or keep that up again. Ripped up the middle. Base hit. Hairston to the plate. Singleton right behind him. That looked a lot like 2001 for Jeff Conine. Drilling that 2-run base hit right back through the box on Rolando Araujo. And the Orioles have opened up a 4-run lead on the Conine 2-run base knock.
Right fielder number 25, Jay Gibbons.
Well, when you release the ball, you better field your position, and this goes right through the wicket, right back up the middle. Araujo can't get the glove on it. Here comes Singleton after Hairston and makes it 5-2, and the Orioles lead it by 4, 6-2.
Gibbons with a drive to deep right center, but it's going to stay in the yard for Johnny Damon to run down near the track. Jay Gibbons making a bid to go out of here. Orioles have already dialed long distance. And to enter the Pepsi Big Slam Home Run Derby, and send a postcard to the address on your screen.
It's amazing. You can eat popcorn, have a little Pepsi, and then do that promo. But that's why you are you.
Agua.
Agua.
Agua. since we're in Bella Luna tonight and Cinco de Mayo and everything else. Agua. Tony Batista to lead things off in the bottom of inning number 5 for the Birds. Batista with a drive to center and deep. Damon is turned on the track. He can't get it. That's over his head and bouncing on one hop out near that ivy-colored hitter's eye, as Batista with the big 2-base hit to open up the 5th.
How would Chris Berman talk about the night that Johnny Damon's had? Back. I mean, that's all he's done. Back to the left, back to the center, back to the right. He's going, I think I'm playing a little shallow. First pitch rocket. And this ball on a hop out of here. You could see Damon, he just slams the wall with his glove. Can't get just, well, there we go. Just not playing deep enough tonight.
Marty Cordova is going to put that bunt down to move Batista over to third base. So sacrifice successful. 1-3. Cordova giving himself up to make sure that Batista's standing on third base. James with less than 2 out.
Next up, for the Orioles, the catcher, number 17.
That a little surprising too.
Well, it is in a way, and maybe a righty, very tough righty against somebody that maybe not a lot of good numbers against. But what's going to do is going to make Grady Little bring his infield in. And who they're going to bring it in for, Geronimo Hill, who's 2 for 2 with 2 home runs, and he doesn't have to hit a home run here.
The catching Bambino tonight, huh? Geronimo Hill.
Well, got hurt early on in that Tampa Bay. Steve Cox sliding into home plate, so the shoulder was bothering him, and apparently it's getting better. If home runs have anything to any indication.
Evidently, he's gone deep twice tonight. He took Frankie Castillo on a ride out of here over into the Orioles bullpen in deep left center in the 2nd, and led off the 4th. And we always talk about Hill and his setup at the plate, Jim. Stands deep in the right-handed hitting box and got a pitch away and drove it out of here over the auxiliary board and right.
Well, Rojo's thrown about 5 miles per hour harder than Castillo, and he's got a much sharper slide. Frank trying to hit his spots tonight and not as good as the command as he normally has. So this is a tough at bat for Geronimo. And once again, he does not have to get a base hit. Fly ball. Oh, what a pitch to hit.
Hill had the big rip at that 1-2 pitch.
Boy, Lance Berkman hit 3 home runs just for the Houston Astros, and he leads, I think he leads the National League with home runs. That was a home run, a 3 home run swing right there.
Albert Bell did it against the Anaheim Angels in July of '99. Got jammed, and that'll get in the seats up the line and right. A little bit more, wouldn't it?
That would make it a lot easier for everybody.
Yep. The 1-2 to Hill. Bounce slowly toward third. No chance for Hillenbrand. Batista to the plate. Infield base hit. 3rd RBI of the night for Geronimo Hill. He's having a big night. 3 for 3, and the Orioles bump the lead back to 3. It's 7-4.
Well, that sacrifice by Marty Cordova, it pays off. Good slider, and you get a great angle right here. You can see him reach out, just trying to stay alive. As it turns out, infield base hit. Hillenbrand can't do anything with it, but flip it to the umpire. And the Orioles will get one of those runs back that the Red Sox scored in the top of the 5th.
That's a called strike to Mike Bordick, who was tripled tonight and fly to right.
And Geronimo Hill feinted like he was going to go to second. Now that would be a big surprise.
Well, he's feeling it tonight.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, obviously so. Off day, well rested.
Couple of bombs. Gotta love it. 0-2 on Mike Bordick.
I'll tell you what, though, I was standing around the cage with you and a bunch of other guys, and Gary Matthews Jr. looked at me and he said, "Did you enjoy the off day?" And I said, "I just had about 10 of them." He said, "Well, weren't you in Tampa Bay?" I said, "No, that wasn't me. I was in Chicago."
It was a long trip, Joe.
Well, apparently so.
Mike Flanagan.
I told him when I have to make a road trip, when they let me make a road trip, I'm going to let you know.
When they let you make a road trip. Is that a subliminal message?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not too. No, please.
Or is that just like bang? Here it is.
No. Here's Gary. Gary playing on.
Good young man.
Yeah.
Good young
terrific
man.
guy.
Mike Flanagan and I shared a ride out to the ballpark in St. Petersburg with Gary and Chris Singleton, and they were both very interested in our television broadcast and the TV side of things and how it works with the Orioles. Araujo will miss in to even the count at 2-2.
Did you tell them we're a lot better when they win?
Yes, we did, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I hope you mentioned.
If you guys win, it makes everything real nice and easy up here.
Rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
For all. It is for all Oriole fans.
2-2 to Bordick. Base hit left field. Heel will stop at second. Mike Bordick ripping it between Hillenbrand and Garcia Parra for the Orioles' 11th hit of the night off Boston pitching.
Well, if you're Mike Hargrove and Terry Crowley, hitting instructor, you got to like the 7 runs and 11 hits. Crow lamenting about 2 weeks ago, saying when we stop hitting, everybody stops hitting. And of course, if you want to, you're 6-12 and you want to go on a winning streak, maybe everybody will start hitting at once. Certainly makes it a lot easier for everybody.
The Orioles are getting that hitting balance throughout the lineup tonight. Here's Jerry Hairston. Jerry's had a good night out of the leadoff spot. He looks at a called strike. Base hit and scored a run in the first. Got hit by pitch and scored his second run of the night in the fourth. And Jimmy O scored in every inning. Won the first, won the second, won the third, 3 in the fourth, and 1 here in the fifth to lead by 3. Jerry Hairston keeps swinging the bat. That's what you want to do. Make things tough on Mike Hargrove when Melvin Mora returns. It's on the inside corner from a rough hole. 1-2 on Jerry.
Well, I think Jerry's a realist. He's still learning. I mean, very enthusiastic, but he said, listen, I told Mike Hargrove in spring training, you can combat me anywhere. And of course, he had a great spring at .315 on base percentage over .400, and then struggled coming out of the gate. But I mean, and he said, if I was making out the lineup the way Melvin Mora was hitting before the death of his brother down in Venezuela, he said I would have put him in the first spot too, because he's leading off. He's going to get up, maybe get an extra at bat, and I wasn't hitting him. He was. I was hurt.
2-2 pitch on the ground, picked by Clark. Garcia Parra, there's one. Not in time. Hairston beat it with Castillo covering. That was a tough backhanded pick, by Tony Clark. Jim, I thought maybe that baseball would have eluded Clark. He kind of side saddled it.
Well, a great angle right here. This is what he's looking at right there. Get it? And of course, Arroyo is going to come from the mound and cover Garcia Parra. And when they call him safe, you can't see right there. Clark's pointing to home plate. Wait a minute. Hill, who came from second to third, might be thinking about going to home. So a very nice play. That ball could have, as you mentioned, got by him very easily.
The runners on the corners now. Geronimo Gil at third base and Hairston at first base, with Chris Singleton at the plate. First pitch swinging on the ground. Clark will accept the ground ball right at the bag. Inning over. By the number there, you see it through 5.5 here at the yard. The Orioles with a 7-5 lead. They've out-hit Boston 11-7. And chance to tack on some more. There has not been an inning yet. The Orioles have been kept off the board by Boston pitching, as they have put at least one on in each of the first 5. David Segui, first pitch swinging on the ground for Shea Hillenbrand. 1 pitch and 1 out as Hillenbrand tosses out Segui to open up the 6th.
Next up for the Orioles, number 18.
Scott Erickson with his lead down to 2. He's battling it tonight, right?
Yeah, he really is.
The best word to apply, I think.
Exactly. Second, third, fourth innings, he was able to go to the sinker. Hadn't had a slider all night long. Got hurt with 2 runs. There's a hanging one to Sanchez in the last inning, in the 6th inning for another run. But again, some nights you're not going to be perfect. Some nights you're not going to pitch well, but you're going to get some run support. I think that's what disappointed him up in New York when he was only able to go 4 1/3, 109 pitches. So I got enough runs. I just threw too many balls and didn't have command.
Well, he's average working into the that's on average working into the 7th inning. Jeff Conine with his slicing drive to right that's picked off about knee high by Trot Nixon as he charged toward the diamond and took away Conine's bid for his 3rd base hit of the night. You're looking at the all-first Orioles duffel bag, and the night is coming up on Tuesday, May the 7th. Here at the Yard, the first 25,000 adults 15 and over receive the heavy-duty, good-looking O's duffel bag, compliments of All First. You know that number to call, 1-888-848-BIRD, to be at All First duffel bag night, or go online at theorioles.com. Here's Jay Gibbons. Well, Rojo knows his tendency to want to go to hacking on that first pitch, especially if it's a fastball.
And why not?
Yeah, well, it served him well this year. Gibbons at .304 on the year, 7 home runs, 6 of them that come on first pitches. That's bounced foul at the plate.
And they've been a lot of, Mickey Stanley, you grew up in Detroit. Mickey Stanley, a notorious first ball fastball hitter. And, long-time Yankee, now a third base coach, Willie Randolph. Well, he'd look for first ball fastball, and eventually, of course, he was trying to, he would lead off sometimes. He'd work the count and end up having to throw him a fastball. But as long as you have a game plan and as long as you get a good pitch to hit, does it really matter what the count is? Because a lot of times maybe the first pitch you're going to get to see might be the best pitch. Now there are some pitchers when they're on their game, Mike Mussina comes to mind, Pedro Martinez, who we'll see on Thursday, you may not get a good pitch to hit.
1-2 to Gibbons. Got jammed in the air to shallow left. Manny Ramirez got a late start, but he's there to put it away. Rojo had a quick 6th inning. Scott Erickson back for the 7th, 7-5.
And Geronimo Hill, big part of that. That's a huge part.
And Geronimo will swing the bat this inning. But first, it's Tony Batista to lead it off.
Now he's got an 8-game hitting streak going.
Yes, he does.
Got a hit in his last 8 games.
Well, Batista 225 on the year. After he came over to the O's last year, he had about a 260 clip after really struggling. Just a little bit over 200 in Toronto. That's bounced foul. I think if you're going to tack 25 to 30 home runs with it, and Jimmy's playing an outstanding third base so far in the first month, if you can get Batista to that where he hits that hard 260, I think everybody'd say, yeah, let's take it.
Well, Terry Crowley said, listen, he's not that big and he's not that strong. He will hit home runs.
It's off to get to the bat, fly ball, right center field. Trot Nixon cruising to the gap to put it away.
And I think if you look at his style, he's very aggressive, and when you get good pitchers, they don't throw a lot of balls in the middle of the plate. He doesn't get a lot of pitches to hit. They keep the ball in, they make that good breaking ball down and away, but there's enough pitching in the American League where when he gets hot and he's got to hit the ball out in front, he's going to hit somewhere between 25 and 35 home runs. I'd be surprised if he didn't do that. And you are dead right about him playing. Mike Flanagan was talking about it. Sammy Palazzo working on his positioning at third base. He has played extremely well.
Just an excellent job defensively for Tony Batista. 2-0 on Marty Cordova. Cordova's 0 for 2 plus a sac bunt tonight. Big sac bunt, actually. Moved Batista over after he had doubled in the 5th inning, and Tony rode home on that Geronimo Hill infield base hit.
Oh, you have that. You have the sacrifice, the fly by Batista. The Orioles have, maybe even go back to the 1st inning and don't like the strategy, giving up and out, but Singleton bunts after the leadoff hit by Hairston. He ends up scoring, and that cut the 2-0 Red Sox lead by 1.
Mike Hargrove enjoying the 7 runs tonight, but wondering is it going to be enough as Araujo missed the inside corner and Cordova with a one-out walk.
Next up,
Let me remind you, these Boston Red Sox are here for a couple of more at the Yard. You want to be out here. Exciting ball club, and good to see the Orioles and the Sox go after one another. And it's two longtime AL East rivals. 7:05 tomorrow night, $8 upper reserve bargain night. Then Pedro Martinez on Thursday afternoon against the Bats of the Birds. 3:05 an afternoon matinee here in late April. Purchase your tickets. You know that number to call, 1-888-848-BIRD, to go online at theorioles.com. The hitting hero tonight, Geronimo Gil. A couple of solo home run shots, one to left center, one to deep right, and then that infield base hit. So he's 3 for 3, scored a couple, driven in 3. As he averaged up to 224. The #1 catcher on Mike Hargrove's 2002 edition of the Orioles. Araujo trying to stay in on him, Jim, as Geronimo loves to move into that pitch.
Well, I think if you've been paying attention, he hit a curveball to left center, he hit a slider the other way, and one pitch I think in general that he hasn't shown that he can hit in the big leagues, and of course he doesn't have a lot of at bats, is that fastball up and in. And you can see stands way off the plate. The difficulty is exactly what we just saw right there, where if you stand that far off the plate, that usually means you like the ball away from you, but as a pitcher, even though you're taught to throw the glove, a lot of times you throw off the hitter. So you throw off the hitter, look how far he's standing, that ball, it looks like it's going to be a strike, but it runs inside. And if you have any kind of plate discipline.
Cordova's going as Gil fouls it out of play.
I love the guys who stood right on the plate, because if you don't hit them, it's a strike. Now that usually means that they're trying to pull the ball. If you're off the plate, you're moving towards the plate, and if you're right on the plate, but the only thing you can do is kind of bail and wail. And there have been some great hitters that stood right up on the plate. Frank Robinson comes to mind, 586 home run. And Don Baylor. Rocky Colavito. The Rock.
Don't knock the Rock. That's a foul ball. Got a piece of heel off the front foot. How about the job Frank Robinson's doing, by the way? With his Montreal Expos. Not bad, huh?
Contraction.
Contract this.
Yeah, right. Minnesota's leading the American League Central. They were talking about, because I read something where Donald Watkins, who I thought was going to try to buy the Twins and maybe build a new stadium, now he offered $250 million, $250 million for the Angels.
I heard that as well. Montreal's winning tonight, by the way, as you see. They're beating Milwaukee in the 8th inning.
They are a juggernaut.
All right, Howard. Leading the National League East, Frank Robinson's Expos. 2-2 to Gil. On the ground to the left of Garcia Paris. Sanchez one. Turn it. 6-4-3 double play. Inning over. Let us go to inning number 8.
As we can, but Ricky is now in center field, and a new pitcher on after 75 pitches tonight. John Burkett leaves. Rolando Araujo into the game.
7th appearance of the year for Araujo. The record of 1-0. He's worked 13 2/3, allowing 12 hits and 5 earned runs, 7 walks, 6 strikeouts. Last outing for Araujo was on the 23rd against the Orioles. 3 2/3 innings in that game. A couple of earned runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout.
He will first face Chris Gomez, the shortstop for the Devil Rays. Fly to right, fly to center. Everything has been in the air so far for the D-Rays shortstop. Devil Rays have run through a few shortstops over the last couple of years. Gomez is signed here for the next 2 years. Signing as a free agent. On the ground and speared by Offerman. He will need help. Araujo is there. 1 down. Let's check in with the NESN studio. Bob?
All right, Donnie. Well, 27 up, 27 down for Odalis Perez today, but it's not a perfect game. It's not a no-hitter either, because this infield single for Corey Patterson was the only hit of the game. He was quickly erased on the double play, so it's a 1-hit complete game shutout for Perez. 10-0 the final.
Thanks, Bob. Back here at Fenway, 4-0. The Red Sox on top in this one, as the Devil Rays bat in the top of the 7th inning with 1 away. A fine effort tonight for John Burkett, who worked the first 6 innings. Gave up only 3 hits to the Devil Rays. Did not allow a run. Burkett walked 1 and struck out 6. For 75 pitches, 53 for strikes. Was right around the strike zone all night. On the ground at Nomar. The throw is there, and Abernathy's out number 2 of the 7th inning.
Of course, Rolando Araujo pitching against the team that he came to the big leagues with, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Araujo was an all-star pitcher for the Devil Rays.
There's the win leaders, and Albie Lopez, with his work last year, is finally able to move ahead of Rolando Araujo in terms of wins in the Devil Rays organization. But he really was their ace when they started.
First time I saw Rolando pitch was in St. Petersburg in a spring training game against the Red Sox. That time the ace of the pitching staff for the Devil Rays.
John Flaherty 0 for 2 is grounded out and flied out to right. Rolando Araujo is 33. He'll turn 34 in July. Born in Havana, Cuba. In his first season in Tampa Bay in '98, he won 14 games, was 14-12. In the '99, he won 7 games, was 7-12, and so the 21 wins in Tampa Bay, and then on to Colorado, where most pitchers do not have success. Popped up. Foul. Mirabelli comes over. Offerman comes over. The wind blows it back, and Mirabelli makes the catch. Offerman alongside for good measure, but Mirabelli retires his counter. Red Sox at the end of 7 innings as we get ready for the 8th. Wes Johnson, the number 9 hitter for the Devil Rays, to bat. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Facing Rolando Araujo, out for his 2nd inning of relief. Enjoyed a 1-2-3 7th inning in relief of John Burkett, who is perhaps in line to pick up his 2nd victory without a loss tonight for the Red Sox in his Fenway Park debut. Wes Johnson at .241 on the year. Chop towards shortstop. Nomar's been busy tonight, and he takes care of Russ Johnson. 1 down. Let's check in with Tom Caron somewhere in the ballpark. Tommy?
Actually, Don, we're right near you with our Citizens Bank Not Your Typical Fan. Beth Armstrong bribed her way into this honor tonight. How'd you do it, Beth?
I brought cookies to Jerry and Don and to the Nesson guys.
And not to me, I want to point out. 18 to the broadcast booth, 2 dozen to the truck. Beth, nothing for me.
I'm really sorry, but next time I swear, oatmeal chocolate chip, real big, they'll be there.
Or there will be no next time on TV for you guys. Back to you.
By Herga to Nomar as it kicked off Carlos, and Nomar doesn't make the throw. Tyner will reach. Yes, we thank them very much for the cookies. They are outstanding cookies.
Yeah, very good. We still got some left, so we can maybe pass some to Tom. He wouldn't be so angry.
It was a bitter conversation, wasn't it?
Big high bounce by Egger, trying to go to the backhand to make that play. Can't come up with it clean, and Jason Tyner will reach first base. That has yet to be scored.
They're still thinking about it. Randy Wynn 1 for 3 tonight. On the ground, this could be inning ending. Nomar tags the bag on the first, and it pulls Offerman. They get the out in one spot. There'll be no error because of the out. Then assume the double play, and on the first is Randy Wynn.
Well, you got to wonder tonight, as cold as it is, and you see all the infielders blowing on their hand if the ball, in some cases, just slipping out of the hand. Here's Garcia Parra, tags the bag again and pulls Jose just off the first base bag. Jose might have got his footwork messed up a little bit over there. Sometimes when you're playing like this, it's just like the baseball feels like a snowball, if that's possible. A frozen snowball. By the way, they did give Carlos Baerga an error on that play, Jason Tyner.
So that'll be the 3rd error of the night for the Red Sox. Those are not just cookies. Those are extremely
thick. These are very, very thick. They're almost like big, thick hamburger patties. They're very good. And there's still plenty to go around. We did a job on some of them, but it was awfully nice of them to stop by the booth prior to the game and drop off some cookies.
Rojo looks around to survey the situation. He finds Randy Winn at first, 2 down, top of the 8th. Red Sox on top 4-0. Inside to Steve Cox, who had a jackknife out of the way. And it's 3-1. Bottom of the 3rd, you see the Expos and the Cardinals tied. Montreal still in first place heading into tonight's action atop the NL East. Who would have thunk that heading into the year with the Mets and the Braves in that division. Hit well to right. Back goes Nixon. That's in the bullpen. A 2-run home run for Steve Cox, his 2nd-round tripper of the year. And the D-Rays have cut the Boston lead in half. It's now 4-2 Red Sox.
First home run that Arroyo has allowed this season. The 2nd home run for Steve Cox. Over the line drive variety this time that will find that Tampa Bay Devil Ray bullpen. Well, the double play is not made, and it comes back to hurt the Red Sox as now the Devil Rays within 2. Reeve coming to the plate and Grady Little to the mound. Casey Fossum had been.
Well, Pedro Martinez leaves after 5 innings tonight. He is eligible to pick up the victory. Gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, walked 2, and struck out Joey Batista, who homered in the 2nd, a solo shot, then doubled and scored in the 4th inning. The home run was good for his 7th of the year. And he had unusual success tonight against Pedro Martinez. Rojo starts his outing off with a strike. Batista, Marty Cordova, and Brooke Fordyce expected here in the 6th inning. 6, 7, and 8 for the Orioles. Rojo drops down as he does quite a bit. Offerman in the foul ground, waiting for this pop-up to come down. It does, and there's 1 away.
Well, hopefully when we get back from this extended road trip through Tampa and Oakland and Seattle, we'll have some nice, warm, comfortable temperatures. We should. It'll be about mid-May when we get back.
You never know. And we know we'll have good temperatures in the Dome, the Tropicana Field, when we get down to Tampa Bay, and certainly in the St. Pete area over the weekend. Cordova sends one to shallow center. Damon coming on and makes the catch, middle of the cap high, and there's 2 down in the 6th inning. I wonder what Oakland is like this time of year.
I checked the USA Today, and San Francisco today was in the low 60s, so Oakland's always a little bit warmer than that, probably around 70, 75 degrees. It's cool at night, though. Bring a jacket.
I was wondering how to pack.
Yeah, no, bring a light jacket. You'll probably need it for those night games.
Now, will you pack tonight for this trip since we're traveling tomorrow? Will you wait till tomorrow?
No, I've made my list out day by day. That's made out, but I have not yet thrown that stuff in the suitcase.
So you make a list, or you're making a list for someone else to pack for you?
Well, actually, yeah. Well, that's true. I make a list, and she picks out the outfits. You know.
So your look is not your own. She has created the look.
Nothing of mine is my own. My money's not my own either.
Wow. Grounded back to the mound. Arroyo able to snare it underhanded and plenty of time to get Fordyce. Rolando Arroyo has Bordick, Jerry Hairston, and Chris Singleton schedule. Bordick has been on twice. He doubled off Pedro in the 2nd, and then received one of 2 walks that Pedro yielded tonight over 5 innings. Bordick pops this up. Foul ground. Veritek and Offerman. Offerman calls and about halfway down that first base line. A little bit of a snow cone, but he's able to make the catch for the first out of the 7th inning.
And so far, Rolando Arroyo making it look easy. A lot of these Orioles swinging early in the count.
Second baseman,
4 straight for Arrojo since coming into the ball game for Pedro.
Not seen Rolando since the 26th of April. The Sox bullpen has not gotten a great deal of action as of late. Corey Hairston batting for the 4th time tonight. Struck out and flied out on 2 occasions. Pops it up. Offerman calling, coming on to the infield grass. 2 down. Oh, Rojo really making it look easy.
That was my point, Don.
That's what you just said a moment ago. I was just backing it up with more information.
I said I like some backup.
Yeah, it's just hammering that point home. Actually, I didn't even hear you. Boy, he's making it look easy. 5 in a row, retired by Rolando Araujo. Chris Singleton 1 for 3. I try to listen to you most of the time.
I wouldn't listen if I was you.
There's other things going on. Singleton, look out. Back towards Araujo. It rolls down the 3rd baseline, and Varitek yelling to let it go. Brand did, and Singleton have to come on back.
Pieces of bat all over the place. 2 pieces behind home plate and 1 behind Araujo. And fortunately, the ball rolled in foul territory. Junk all over the field. There's going to some back here. There's going to be some go up here. Some in the hand still.
Now the 1-1 to Singleton. Grounds it right side. Over is Sanchez. Offerman covers, as did Araujo. But they're able to retire Singleton, and Rolando Araujo has retired all 6 Baltimore Orioles. He has
over to former starter, a Cuban-born Rolando Araujo. Araujo has allowed 7 earned runs his last 14 innings. He inherits Miguel Tejada, and he'll face Terrence Long. Araujo goes right to work with a strike. T. Long 1 for 2 tonight against Pedro Martinez with a single, part of a back-to-back single barrage off of Martinez to score the A's first run. And they strike for 4 here as Shea Hillenbrand makes a couple of big errors. Jermaine Dye with a smoked line drive that Manny Ramirez made a great play on. Looked like that may be a rough break for the A's. Sac fly came in to tie the game, but Chavez rides out Pedro. 1-1 pitch here, just a piece. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Araujo with the different angles that he releases the ball, drops down a little sidearm, good sinking, but A's taking advantage of some mistakes by the Red Sox tonight, and that's always important. If you get the opportunity to take advantage, and they have in this half.
Pedro gave it up to Eric Chavez. He knew it. He never even turned to look. He watched Chavez the whole way. As Too Long takes strike 3 called. Tim McClellan brings him up 2 away here in the A's 5th.
Throws a good sinker away for lefties, but then drops a big curveball over to Terrence Long. Took it, maybe thought the ball was inside, but looked like it crossed the whole plate.
Araujo, initially a Tampa Bay Devil Ray. You remember what a tremendous rookie season he had. Finished behind Ben Grieve in the Rookie of the Year balloting. Won 14 games, ERA of 3.5. Really struggled the following year. ERA over 5, went 7-12. Went to Colorado and then eventually was dealt to the Red Sox. Facing Ramon Hernandez. Ramon 1 for 2 against Pedro Martinez with an RBI single. Looping 1 to right, and then he popped to short.
Yeah, that shot of Pedro Martinez looking at Eric Chavez when he hit the home run. It's almost as if he was looking to see if Eric was going to stand and admire it. He normally does not. I mean, Eric, there's not even that ball he hit in Chicago last year. He swings and starts to run, but pitchers know when they give up a home run. And I think Pedro just wanted to see just what he was going to do. And Eric ran the bases. I don't think you want to show him up.
No. The A's are not going to see him next week at Fenway Park. He's going to work in Seattle this weekend. And then Seattle's going to get him twice. So a little bit of a break there. Remember last year the A's got him twice early in the year. And the Mariners only got him once. 1-2 pitch. Ramon will bounce to short. And Nomar, nice throw off balance to get 5-5 into the 15th. They've combined to use 12 pitchers. Braves have used 7. And elsewhere, Alex Gonzalez went for 4 RBIs for the Cubs. And Jason Kendall, 2-run homer in the 8th for Pittsburgh. Here in Oakland, Rolando Araujo working to Carlos Pena. Carlos has struck out twice tonight, both against Pedro Martinez, who was gone. Pedro, worst outing against the A's. Shortest, goes only 4 1/3. Pena hits this one down the line, slicing on Manny Ramirez in the corner. Manny will get there and make the catch in fair territory. Manny's made a couple of nice plays tonight going into foul territory. Made a tremendous catch to rob Jermaine Dye earlier.
Really shading all the lefties towards the left field line. And so as a result, does not have a long way to run to get to the ball, but some good plays defensively, and it's always a good hitter, especially with runners in scoring position.
And he was a right fielder as a member of the Cleveland Indians and balked initially about making the move to left. Right field at Fenway, far more demanding, much bigger area, and he's learned to play the monster reasonably well. Although most of last year he DH'd with the hamstring problems. There's the A's left fielder slash DH. And with the leaving of the game early by David Justice, we're going to see, I think, Jeremy go back to playing more left than DHing, Ray. As David Justice, we've not received a report from the A's clubhouse. We'll pass it along to you when we do, but we assume that it's the right groin injury cropping up. A's bench, a little thin these days. Can they activate Clay Wood? We saw him scoop some balls at first. 1-2 pitch. Jeremy pulls it. As they offer him flips to Rolando Araujo. Araujo's pitching well since coming in for Pedro. Has retired all 4 A's that he's faced. Got Tam in there for the A's for now.
Second baseman, Randy Velarde.
Although Mike Magnani continues to throw in the bullpen. Hillebrand scheduled to lead off with Boston. A righty, then a switch hitter and a lefty back-to-back in Varitek and Nixon. May see Magnani there. There's Randy Velarde. Randy 0 for 3 tonight. He takes a strike. Araujo throwing well. Velarde did reach his last time up on the first of back-to-back errors by Hillenbrand. And he came around to score one of the A's 4 in the 5th.
Interesting about the move of Chavez to left field. There was talk that Velarde might be playing some outfield because he has played the outfield. But instead, it was Chavez to left and Menachino to third.